Hi everyone. So I wanted to share my experiences selling makeup to Glambot today. So they buy used makeup, they sanitize it, and then they sell it. And so they're selling it at a discount, obviously, because it is used. They do run sales. I have not purchased anything from Glambot, though I have thought about it for things like foundation, especially things that come in a pump. You know, I don't really have any qualms about that, except possibly how old the foundation is, because that they don't really have any way of knowing how old something is, and we don't really have any way of knowing. So you could potentially get something older, and I have just found that older products, foundation specifically, I already have some issues with that sitting on my skin well, and the older it gets, the worse it sits on my skin. So that's the only reason I haven't gone ahead and bought any foundation from them. But I have sold to Glambot twice. So the first time was in January of 2016, and I will include probably a list of the things that I sent them. But just to give you an idea, I sent an Urban Decay shadow box, the Tarte for True Blood palette, some smaller palettes, 8 Sigma brushes, a Bobbi Brown highlight in pink quartz, some MAC pigments, a Lancome quint, some individual highlighters, one from Elizabeth Arden, some MAC powders, individual paint pot, individual eyeshadow, several cream highlights, cream blushes, some cheaper palettes, some travel sized things like the LORAC Tantalizer bronzer, some deluxe sample size, travel size thing of primers, and deluxe sample of a blush. So it was a bunch of things that I wasn't using, and I wanted to try out the service. I had a feeling that I wasn't going to get anything remotely close to what you could potentially get if you sold them yourself. But when you don't have a large following, the option for selling is going to be a little bit different from someone who already has an audience and they can have their own store somewhere, and they're going to get a lot of traffic because of that. Otherwise, you know, if I'm just trying to do a blog sale and I have, 500, 1,000 subscribers, it's just not going to be a lot of people that are potentially buying my stuff. So yes, I could definitely sell it for more independently if I could actually sell it. But I knew that that wasn't going to happen. So eBay won't allow selling makeup. Anything that's been used, they do not allow. So you don't have a ton of options. Glambot I had heard about it, and I thought, this is great. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I had, definitely have gone through phases where I just buy way too much, things that I don't really love, and I've really tried to work on that, buying less, only things to, fill a gap somehow. So I don't end up with a ton of duplicate stuff or things that I don't really like all that much. Return things if I really don't think I'm going to use them. That's also another thing. So, trying to save that money up front as opposed to trying to get a little bit back when I sell it later. So they make it very easy for you to sell makeup. Basically, you just go onto the website and fill out a small form saying that you want to sell. They send you a shipping label, and that's all you have to do. And both times I've requested the shipping label and then not actually sent it to them for months, just because I hadn't gotten to packing it up. Packing up the makeup is by far the most tedious, most time-consuming part of the whole process, and that's where I always kind of get tripped up, because you need to individually bubble wrap every single item that you're selling. So you really need to pack it well, because if it arrives broken, obviously you're not going to get anything for it. And they really want you to send stuff that's not broken, obviously. And you don't want something like a liquid to break and then, mess up all the stuff in the box. So you really have to be very careful with how you send things to them. And that can take a lot of time if you're sending a lot of stuff. So the first time I sold to them, I got back $76. And it seemed kind of like a punch in the gut just because I knew that the amount of stuff that I had sent them was retailed for, who knows, $500 plus. So what you're getting back is a really small fraction. But I knew that going in, and it was a little hard to swallow at first, but then it's like, you know what? This is $70 I wouldn't have in my pocket otherwise. Someone else can enjoy this makeup, and it's worth it. So I thought about it for all of about 5 minutes, and then I went ahead and accepted the offer. They send the money via PayPal. If you don't want to accept their offer, I think they will send it back to you, but you have to pay for the shipping costs on the way back. So if you do accept their offer, they don't charge you for shipping. So the label they give you is from the post office, USPS, and they will also give you the option of 30% more than the cash offer in store credit. So if you don't want the cash, you just want that and plus 30% to buy makeup from them, you can do that. They do take tools that can be cleaned, like brushes. At least 50% of the original product remaining. They don't want something that's too beat up. They don't take false lashes, skincare, makeup bags, things with reusable applicators like lip gloss, liquid lipsticks, mascara, liquid eyeliner pens, that kind of thing. Let's see. So it says sell packages must contain at least 20 full-size qualifying items. International packages must contain 30. So I will say that I believe I got an email saying that they had reduced it down to 10, but I think maybe they actually, either they didn't update their website, which is possible, or it is actually still 20. So if you send things that aren't on their accepted brand list, or it gets rejected for whatever reason, they're not going to send those back. They're just going to dispose of them or use them for whatever they use them for and not give you money for them. So I did send another box to them before I moved, so it was probably 6-8 months ago or so, and for that box I got quite a bit of money, but I sent them an immense amount of makeup. I did not document what all I sent, which, you know, I probably should have, but I just didn't. So this was in June when I sent my second box. So they gave me $167 for that box. I sent them so many eye palettes. I basically cleared out almost my entire eye palette collection except for maybe 4 or 5 palettes. So I sent them so much stuff, and the box was so large. It was like this by like this. It was so heavy that I was getting it out of the car to take to the post office to drop in their little package drop thing, and it hit me in the face, and it actually made it like split my lip. That's how heavy this dang box was. So I had to send a huge amount of makeup to get that large of a payment, which I was okay with. I really wanted to scale down my collection, get rid of tons of almost everything high-end that I really didn't love. So I got rid of blushes, highlighters, single eyeshadows, tons of eyeshadow palettes. I just wanted lipsticks, you name it. Anything basically they would take that I really wasn't attached to, it went, and that ended up being a lot of stuff. I probably halved my collection, maybe. So yeah. So you have to send a lot of stuff to get a lot of money. They do occasionally offer bonuses where if your sell offer is $100, you get an extra $10. So they say, you know, up to $100 bonus for seller credit, whatever, but that's like if you send something like $600 worth of makeup, which I can't even fathom, just because I felt like I sent them so much, and that was still less than $200. And yeah, So maybe if you're sending an immense amount of like really high-end luxury brands, you could get that kind of offer, but I can't even imagine how big the box would have to be. It would be like a packing moving box, I feel like. So there are other options, a couple options. Check your women's shelters locally. They may or may not, probably not, accept used makeup. If they don't, Project Beauty Share, which the Stila here on YouTube has worked with on several different projects, several different fundraising during her 15 days of foundation, like t-shirt sales and that kind of thing, the proceeds went to Project Beauty Share for just a cash donation to them. You can send them your used makeup and they will take whatever, and they will be sanitizing it and getting it ready, and they can distribute it to the people that are in need. So it's a way of being able to donate your makeup. You're gonna have to pay for the shipping, but you know, I have a ton of makeup that I don't use that I would like to give to somebody, but I don't really have anyone to give it to. You know, some people have family, friends, whatever. They have a network of people that would be interested in makeup, and I just don't have a network of people that would be interested in my old makeup. So that's a great option. You can send drugstore stuff. You know, you can send things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to sell to somewhere like Glambot. Granted, again, you could sell it independently somehow or give it to someone that you know, but if those options don't seem to make sense to you, I feel like it's worth the cost of shipping. Use something like the post office flat rate boxes, because you can get a lot of makeup into a box that's only, let's say, $6, $9, and that way you can get your makeup to somebody that could really use it, and it's totally worth it. So that's my next plan, is to go through all the stuff that I wasn't able to sell and pack it up for Project Beauty Share. That way I can get it out of my collection and get it to people that are actually going to appreciate it and use it and need it. So that's my next plan. So anyway, overall, I would recommend selling to Glambot. Just know that you're not going to get much, 10 cents on the dollar, maybe, a retail cost for your items, but I feel like that's 10 cents more than I have when it's just sitting here languishing in my collection, not really being used, not really being loved. Might as well get something for it, as opposed to just tossing it and having no one to give it to that would be interested in it. So I hope that helped. I know I didn't have a ton of information, just kind of personal experience selling to them. It's a reputable place to sell to. I would recommend it. I don't have any sort of affiliation with them. I don't have coupon codes, anything like that. I just am an independent person that has sold to them a couple times. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm sure I didn't cover some stuff that you might want to know. I will include links below to where you can request the shipping label and just their general policy, like frequently asked questions page, which goes over in detail all the stuff you can send, how they want you to pack it. They do have, I will say, they have a video showing how they want you to pack it, which includes putting bubble wrap inside the palette. They have a specific bullet point on that page somewhere that says, please do not put bubble wrap inside the palettes because it can damage the product inside or leave like impressions. So just ignore the part of the video where they say to put bubble wrap inside the palette. They no longer recommend that, which is good because that was a major tedious part of the packing process. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, whatever below, and I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon.